first order of business will be to approve the agenda. Everybody get a chance to look over that. Could I get a motion to approve?
I'll second.
Second Nelson, all in favor, please raise your hand.
Thank you.
Okay. Agenda has been approved. Next order of business, approve the minutes from the previous board meeting. Everybody get a
Two
chance?
sets, August
Two
1st and
sets.
August 5th.
Okay. Well then, in reference to the August the 1st minutes, can I get a motion to accept?
Make a motion to accept.
Okay, motion by Brenda. Second by Bart. All in favor, please raise your hand.
Thank you.
Okay. And then the minutes for the August 8th meeting.
I'll move to approve.
Okay, move to approve by Nelson.
A second.
Second by Glenda. All in favor? Raise your hand.
Thank you.
Okay. Next order of business will be to sign off on the tax dispositions.
Two.
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 Is that the AT&T?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mhm. Right.
These are the public utility properties of 2012 resolution with the state of Georgia. No, there wasn't. If you read the actual civil case, it's like $3 billion, something like dollars was what they said alone. It was, I don't think they got much traction in the whole deal. And then what they do, they prorate it out to all the different areas in the state.
Thank you.
Okay, motion to approve the tax dispositions.
I'll move to approve.
Okay.
There's a lot of them, but I'll second it.
Second by Bart. All in favor, please raise your hand. Okay. All right, 30-day assessment notice list.
Have 140 that we're mailing today.
140 going today.
Yes, sir.
It's not blank if you did it this week. Waterford Mountain Properties. Where's that?
That's the, it's over at Pickens. It's a neighborhood within a neighborhood.
Oh, yeah.
Ken Rice, I think.
Mhm. when we got down there was once you get through customs and security and you go out the gate there at the airport, walk like this, because they've got all those timeshare people lined up. Oh, yeah.
When we got to go down there, one of the things that we were gonna do was a Jeep excursion. Of course, I was gonna drive the Jeep we were in. My driver's license had expired a couple of days before. Which meant my wife had to take control in a foreign country, dealing with a caravan. It was not a good day for me.
Yes, that is interesting. That would be interesting. One of the more memorable things was Jamie got her scuba certification. That's fun.
Good day.
I got to go with her when she was doing all her little practice exercises and all that stuff. That's fun to watch. A little nerve-wracking to watch. It's fun. 30, 40 foot down, you're watching her take her mask off and put her mask back on. Needed to get in and out, but as far as carrying it around with your dad, that would be better. The new international terminal, not so nice.
Good.
We'll make people do it. And he's had those lots for a long time.
He's actually an adjacent property owner that had a development that got approved, and it kind of co-mingles with it.
We have one story, so he came in and he got sick, he was sick, and then our plane crashed. Oh, wow. When we were landed and you know, fire trucks are coming out, and we wouldn't let us, it's just the air conditioner, and we wouldn't let us taxi. It was stressful.
So I have to be playing out there on the runway?
Air and, you know, just, I don't know, stress there, claustrophobic. Did you get the rooms or?
Yeah, we went to check some neat saloons. I mean, it's about a 2.5 hour ride in a bus. But it was fun.
It's been here since Rosemary.
Yeah. They were really impressive.
You didn't have to have a passport. That's all it was. It was that was probably just part of my life.
When we got sick, when we started to get sick, the last day or so, me and Jamie managed to work it. We were too, of course, all inclusive. We ate there, except for that excursion to the ruins. They took us to this restaurant that was kind of touristy setting. Yeah. All right. So can I get a motion to approve the 30-day assessment notices? Motion by Bart.
I'll second.
Second by Nelson. All in favor, please raise your hand.
Thank you.
Appeals to be forwarded to the Board of Equalization.
I don't have any this week. I think I will probably present that at next week's meeting.
Okay.
To pick what few appeals we have left that we've not reviewed. The driveway.
So we're on Did you say next week's meeting? Okay.
Next week's meeting.
Yes, she did.
Okay.
August is, it's cause it's this time of year.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, during
And
the
that's-
appeal period, it's just August off.
Yeah, keep them in a time, keep them flowing in a timely manner. Okay, since we have no appeals to be forwarded this week, at this week's meeting, we'll move on to old business. Stephanie, what we got?
Stephanie, anything on old business?
Like that.
So,
Hope you've had time to review the information. Have you got any particular questions or comments about what you've seen so far?
basically, you said we had 30 properties in the county, cell towers.
That's an approximation.
And, I'm just worried about, somebody in the office, I know this is a specialized area, but, does anybody in the office have any education in the cell tower?
To that level, no.
No.
No. We do take returns from these people. What it's been seen around the state, and this is why so many people are doing this, is basically we have an under return of this class of properties. And to address it, you're probably gonna have somebody with a little bit more expertise with the industry. And that's why you have these vendors approaching the counties. And,
These people have been to a lot of the counties, they have the book here and have all the names and phone numbers to contact, but, as you read through it, there's no guarantee that they're gonna find any additional tax revenue.
this particular vendor is very good about that. They're
There's
not doing it stating X number of dollars. The other vendor, and I'll get you a copy of that, I haven't yet, may be a little bit more aggressive on that point.
Yeah.
And I think that's ultimately when decisions are made, that's what everybody's gonna have to look at. But bottom line, it does look like an under return of that class of property from everything that we have seen.
But we've been assessing these 30 properties over the last couple of years. So
Oh, yeah.
you know what the baseline is on it now. And the question is, how much additional revenue can be generated? Do you have an idea, Roy, of what a contract with these folks would cost the county?
Okay. They have got some statements in here about what their fees are. The other one that you have not got a copy of that I've got to get to you, they're pretty clear about what their cost will be. And once again, as a board, I would tell you that you would never contract with somebody simply for a revenue input. All the court cases are pretty clear about that. What you would do is for uniformity of assessment. If you have a class of property that's being under returned, then it is the board's responsibility to make sure that it's returned properly. It's like the public utilities that we worked on earlier. The state of Georgia takes that burden on each and every year. A lot of the phone companies, these particular cell towers are operating outside of the public utility domain. And like I said, from what we're seeing, we've got returns. Stephanie's got personal property accounts on some of the things. The question is, how accurate are they as far as the number that's out there, or is it all being returned? And then the second question is the value. Are they under returning the property? So that's what these companies our vendors are addressing with different counties.
And the personal property that is contained in the building that sits at the base of the tower, I guess, it's like Stephanie's got to assess a home, but she's not able to get inside it. Would they be doing that, or who would be looking at the equipment?
Yes, and that's what they're explaining in all this, that they have the expertise to go. When they locate this site, they can tell you about that site, what the value of the actual structure is, and there's usually a structure owner. Then there may be other participants that are at that site. Different cabinets is what they refer to it as. And that's where the real expertise comes in. About if that cabinet's there, if it's 3G, 4G, what is the value of that particular property?
Board, have you spoken with any of these counties?
Yes. Yeah. I've spoken with counties that both vendors have gone to. Done a lot of research on that when I was at school over at Athens. Brad was there. I actually gave him a copy of the first thing that we were approached with. And most of the counties have had favorable responses to this. But like I say, it's just one of those things. There's a lot of stuff going on in the telecommunication industry, and then the question, right, are they accurately returning the property that they own under Georgia law or not?
Do they have success getting inside the building? Because in their letters, as if the field technician is available, do like Verizon sort of make sure the field technician is in the next county instead of going around with them, or are they been able to work with the?
Both of these vendors have assured me, and I've learned about that, they have good working relationship with the industry representatives. And that's one of the things that I really checked when these people came by. That's what I wanted to know. If vendor A can talk to all these people and get this information and communicate well like they say, how about you? And from what I'm hearing, they're both capable of doing that and doing so.
Because just looking at the picture they sent, but I wouldn't have let the heck all that stuff.
There you go.
You got a glimpse of it there.
There you go.
Exactly. Okay. Thanks for that update.
I'll do my homework for next week.
Okay.
I didn't really
Okay.
spend any time looking at this.
Well, in a lot of this, call me, ask me, come by. I'll talk to you more about it from what we've experienced and found out. Be glad to.
Does it require a vote of the board
Well,
to pursue?
Linda, good question. The first company that came, they were talking about approaching the governing authority, not us. Okay? Well, that's kind of abnormal from everything that I've seen, but then the more I have researched this, they're doing that quite frequently. What I think the Board of Assessors needs to do is take enough time to learn as much as we can, so if the governing authority has questions, that we can give an educated response.
So ultimately, it would be our elected officials' responsibility to say thumbs up or thumbs up on this.
From what I'm seeing, there's some counties where the governing authorities haven't even talked to the Board of Assessors. They've listened to the thing and said, let's do that.
So have they already presented their information to?
No. At this time, they have approached me with this information. I feel like I need to get it out to you and let you know that we've researched as much as we know to. And then I'm sure that they will make their presentations to the governing authority unless something different comes up.
And our county commission knows that we have this information?
Not yet. Not yet. We're still in the stages of gathering this information on this end. And I thought I'd try to get it to the board members so that if the governing authority turns around and asks, I don't want you sitting there going, I don't know what you're talking about.
Good deal. Okay, any more cell tower questions, comments? If not, any other old business?
No?
Okay. Let's move right along then to new business.
Can I go first?
Yep.
I just realized yesterday that every year after the assessment notices are mailed, we have to compose a list of returned assessment notices that were returned by the post office as being undeliverable. So we have to compose a list, the board has to sign it, and then it has to be posted at the courthouse, or it can be posted on the website. And last year, that's what we done. It's just I sent this to our website vendor, the qpublic.net. then they post it on the website for 30 days, and what it does is it allows any property owner that is on this list a 30-day window to appeal their value, per se. So,
Do we still post it at the courthouse?
no, not since we were able to do it online.
And so that would be on the Q Public side.
Yes, sir. Yeah, last year was the first year we posted it online. Years before, we just always posted at the courthouse.
These are notices you send out to just return for.
From the post office and being undeliverable.
Now, is that something that, on Q Public, I guess, Fetcher News and No Pickens and Progress can share a link to that or whatever? Or
Probably.
I was just curious,
You know, a lot of people might just have to research that. We're just required to.
right,
do
so
either
that
one.
meets our legal.
We've done our part.
That meets our legal obligation.
about how many were on there? Did I say a total on there?
Tammy, are you able to post this list on y'all's? You just want me to email it to you?
I'm gonna give you somebody else's email address that does just the announcements and postings.
Okay. And Chris, you know, you want yours? Possibly. Maybe not.
So, chapter, if necessary.
I know definitely next Thursday. Which one is it? Specialized assistance.
expensive. Something like that.
Where are you going?
Right. And after this one, I'm good for a long time. So I'd like to do something with that. So I'd like to do something. I understand. And I'm trying to do that.
Like keeps y'all up to date.
I heard you did an extension last week. Your inflation. I remember January 1.
Thank you. You can certainly say.
For many years. All right, can we get a motion to accept this list of return? Okay, motion by Glenda. Second by Nelson. All in favor, please raise your hand.
Thank you.
Okay. Next.
Can I ask a question? What do you do if you, I mean, we never hear from those individuals that, what do you do then?
Well, all it does is
Just
just
a notification?
no. I mean, all this does is allows them a 30-day window from the time that this is made public.
Okay.
A 30-day window to give them the opportunity to appeal their value. But let's say they pop up 3 months down the road and find it on there, so well, you know, we had to do it.
But if their property tax doesn't look at the same address,
Yeah.
unless somebody calls and changes that.
Okay, other new business.
As you've witnessed the last few weeks, Stephanie Gooch has been doing a phenomenal job keeping up with everything here at the end of the appeal period. Can't thank her enough for everything that she's done. We would like to have another 1 to 2 weeks before we send the final updated information over to the tax commissioner. But we couldn't really wait that long, so Tuesday of this week, we downloaded our latest information after the 45-day period was up with everything that we have been able to do. It is on the tax commissioner's site now, so she's working on doing her consolidations and everything, so we've got that part behind us. This will be a lot of work going through the rest of the appeal period. Once again, want to just really commend Stephanie for what she's done. We have talked with more people, looked at more appraisals. It's really been something here lately. The other thing is we're continuing to work on trying to get what we need on our computer system. We have really, it has been bad for quite a while. It is really getting worse every day. So we're working on what we need to do, talking with the finance people and everything to see what we can do. Not only to get upgraded to the next place where we've got to go, which is SQL Server, but get a system that can actually operate today. So we're trying to work on getting both of those things done at one time. We'll let you know more as we go along on that.
Okay. So back to what you were saying about what you got to Sharon's office. Too early to give a number compared to what the original estimate was? Or?
We will let her, she will give that information. She's the officer that actually does that officially. She'll do that with the governing authorities and the school board, and then they'll do their publications.
Okay. Right. Any other new business?
Stephanie, I can't think of anything else.
When do you think this computer issue is going to be resolved?
Linda, we're getting information from ETC now on what the actual, we've had them communicating with the Wind Gap group. So we're finding out what our actual needs are. Like I said, we're communicating that with Faye, and I know that the county, one of our goals has been, for a lot of years, we operated in different areas and we always had our own server. okay, and that worked extremely well. When we came to this facility, I'm gonna use the term commingling, okay? Well, I think we've all been fortunate that it's kind of worked for a few years. We're getting to the point now where it's more of a hindrance than it is a benefit. So one of my goals has been to get us away from that, get us back to our own dedicated server so that our system can operate like it should operate. I think it'll also help the other entities. Now, at the same time, WinGap, everybody is graduating to SQL Server. We used to be the Windows-based Fox Pro type systems. That has become outdated and antiquated, so now SQL is the new platform. So we need different hardware and everything with that. What we're learning, I knew we were going to have a server, okay? Well, I'm learning now that we need more than the server for everything to be compatible and actually work.
But you don't have any kind of time.
Well, as soon as possible.
Yesterday.
As soon as possible. We just got to work with the other entities, and it's a different situation being put in here with everything else. Like I said before, we dealt with our computer people, we had our own server and everything. We didn't run into some of this, so it's a little bit of a new venture.
Is there a line item county budget for all this new hardware?
Like I said, we're working with.
I'm gonna say not at this time, Nelson.
That was kind of a rhetorical question.
Now, in my ignorance, we don't have an IT person here, but I knew we had to have a server. And I'm pretty sure I had enough to cover that in this fiscal year and everything. With the new needs that I've been presented with, I don't have that at this time, so we're gonna see what we can do.
And once all these appeals are done and finalized and it gets back to normal, if everything crashes, then you'll be all right. As long as it-
But you're gonna be on property tax bills, property tax bills are gonna go out, right?
Oh, yeah.
Falls, I mean, you don't really have that many months left till, that's gonna be, with that being impacted by your system.
Well, Sharon has a vendor that does her.
She sends the bills out, actual bills.
Right, so I mean, so her system is not,
Her system is a state gratis system. She is separated,
so
okay?
this is not impacting her ability to.
No, no. Our situation is we run into more and more issues. We have one unit that has been cleaned up as much as it can be cleaned up and everything. We're so integrated with so many different systems and information. And I think one of the issues, now I'm not an IT person, but I think one of the issues, and we ran into this years ago with WinGap. At the time that we went to WinGap, Norton antivirus was all the rage. That's what everybody wanted to put on their computers was Norton. Well, guess what? We found out in the state of Georgia, Norton was not compatible with WinGap. We literally had to get away from that and go to something else. I'm guessing that part of the issue here in our building is one of the reasons our computers cannot respond. There's so many new ways to attack network systems. If somebody logs on here, somebody logs on there, there's no telling what's happening. So people are throwing every antiviral thing that they can throw at systems. What I understand, it gets to a point where when you press a key for a function, it's like we'll highlight a parcel number. And all the other years we hit it, we saw the parcel. Now our computer sits there and it might go to it, it might be a few minutes from that.
So basically it's just the assessor's office issue?
No.
No.
I think other offices are also from what we're hearing.
But the tax commissioner's
But it's definitely
office,
affecting us. They're on the state gratis system
so they're not affected.
by the things that we are, not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
Any other new business?
Can't think of
Okay, look at our calendars, and next week will be the 22nd. So we will schedule our next meeting. Is there anybody here now on the board that knows they cannot make that meeting next week? Okay. Sounds good. Well, then let's put that down as our next meeting will be August 22nd at 8:30 a.m. Guest comments, questions? We're good? Okay, meeting adjourned. The motion.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Glenda,
Second.
second by Nelson. All in favor? Adjourned.